The Bruins fall to the Maple Leafs 6-4 in a dud. I'm Evan Marinofsky, here alongside Conor Ryan of Boston Sports Journal. And Conor, this game felt like it was going to be really exciting. Had that, coming in was the playoff atmosphere. It was the first time the Maple Leafs had been here since 2019. And then the Maple Leafs went up early, and they went up more and more and more, and the Garden crowd wasn't very in it. Just didn't feel like that Maple Leafs Bruins kind of game.
Yeah, no, it definitely felt like a dud. You look at just the way the Bruins played, and we've talked about the Bruins matching up very well against the Maple Leafs over the years, and a lot of it's come down to the fact that Maple Leafs had the same flaw for years and years, right, with defense and goaltending. Kind of got flipped on its head a little bit with this matchup, right? I mean, the defense just out of sorts throughout the game for the Bruins, especially that third D pairing. Guy like Connor Clifton really struggled. Brendan Carlo struggled on the second D pair. Wasn't the sharpest game for Jeremy Swayman. So put that all together, and sure, you can maybe draw some silver linings out of it if you want to. The Bruins kind of made it a little interesting, especially look at this Toronto team. You never know how it's going to change in that third period. But still, I think you look at leading into this game, it sure seemed like a statement kind of performance for the Bruins, especially with the way they've been playing over the last couple of weeks. To have a performance like that, even if they were maybe due for a stinker or something like that, to have it come against this Toronto team, it's a pretty tough hit for them.
Yeah, not great. And someone like Brendan Carlo, again, outchanced 17-3 when on the ice. And I guess he only had like one defensive zone shift the whole game. I saw this on Twitter. So that's not terrific. Not what you want at all. So the question I think a lot of people have come down to this game is we always kind of compare the Bruins and the Maple Leafs because we expect every year they're going to face each other in the first round. This year, there's still a chance that they could. But again, it's a good measuring stick game. But if they were to play in a 7-game series, I mean, it's hard to take some takeaways from one game and try to expand that over 7. Still, though, again, not super encouraging tonight with that.
No, not great. I mean, again, it's not. The Maple Leafs over the years have done a better job in terms of shoring up some of that defense, whether it's a guy like Brody. Obviously, Muzzin's hurt, but he's a guy that helps out a bit. You get Giordano, that will help them out. But still, it's the same team in terms of what you rely on to get you through a series if you're the Maple Leafs, which is just outscoring the opposition, pouncing on those chances. And again, if they meet in a 7-game series, I have to imagine, you would hope, that the Bruins are, able to take care of the puck a lot more and not give up so many of those grade A chances. There was even that 2-on-0 where Mitch Marner should have shot the puck. That could have made it a 7-goal game for them. So you look at that, Bruins need to tighten things up, but I'm not going to say it's the same old Maple Leafs team because they've gotten better and they're a little bit more balanced than they were in years past. But if you're looking at exposing the flaws, it's still going to be, attacking that defense, being physical on the forecheck, and capitalizing on their goaltending, which you can make the same case for the Bruins, right? Like, their defense is a lot better, but who knows what you're going to get from Jeremy Swayman in the playoffs. And if this is his first performance against the Maple Leafs, a little bit of a rough showing.
Not great. And the other thing was that, one thing we've sort of touched on with the Maple Leafs over the years is over 7-game series, they're just not super tough to play against. You can be fast and speedy for a regular season game, but in a playoff game, it doesn't really work as much, especially in a 7-game series. And you saw with like Taylor Hall's punch on Lyubushkin. Obviously, look, I was not the one punched in the head here. I don't know exactly what he was feeling, but from up above, not a crazy hard punch. And if you're feeling like that in March, when the games matter and that stuff happens all the time in April and May, that's signs of maybe a little bit of a soft team.
Yeah, no, those things will pile up over a 7-game series. And as you said, it's kind of disappointing from the Bruins' perspective, too, where I think you saw in that game against Tampa Bay where they eventually, went ahead late in that game. But throughout the contest, they were very physical, even the fourth line, third line. I mean, there was that play where Charlie Coyle just bulldozed, I think it was Adam Pelech, leading to the goal. You saw a few of those hits from Charlie McAvoy, who seems like the guy that consistently will do that game in and game out, especially when they need kind of a momentum-changing hit. You'd like to see that a little bit more, especially against this team where, as you said, they add maybe a little bit of toughness in other areas of the team, but there's still, links in that roster on the depth chart where you can really kind of exploit them if you just play physical, simple hockey. You just didn't see enough from that from the Bruins in this one.
No, you didn't. It seems like McAvoy's always, as you said, he's always the guy who's making the big hits, the angry hits kind of late in blowout kind of games like this one. That didn't end up being a blowout. I mean, they scored a bunch in the third, but it's hard to kind of put any real stock in that, so we're not going to. That is the Bruins. Bruins lose to the Maple Leafs 6-4. You can follow all your Bruins content over here at Bruins Ringside and with Conor over at Boston Sports Journal.